I'm not the most outspoken guy out there, but one thing I feel strongly about is that people who are bigger, stronger, or cooler than others should not be allowed to walk all over someone else because they are weaker, smaller, or labeled different in some way. I have had to send children to the hospital because they are suicidal. I have had to call parents and tell them that they have to meet their son or daughter at the hospital, and I don't know if they'll be able to come home that night. I've seen the suffering that happens when kids and adults bully and abuse one another. As police officers, we have to see a lot of the bad in this world. Sometimes it feels like that's all we see. However, we also see the good. We see adults and kids who are willing to stand up for what is right. We see people who are at real personal risk or the risk of humiliation or embarrassment go out of their way to help someone else. One of the most rewarding parts of being a police officer is when you can help someone stand up for themselves, or in those rare instances whereas we as officers can step in and stop someone from being bullied. Because having the courage to stand up for what is right feels good. About 6 years ago, I had the opportunity to work in a suburban middle school with 750 kids. One of the things that appealed to me about working in a school was the chance to make a difference. I feel strongly about sticking up for kids who are shy or timid or a target for bullying for whatever reason. I have seen how kids who have been bullied can be seriously affected by it. It can last throughout their entire lives. Some kids get so beaten down that they never do come out of it. They stay down for the rest of their lives, sometimes turning to drugs or even suicide. Some people are able to come out of it, but I don't think anybody comes out of it without it affecting them in some way for the rest of their lives. I don't think we want our children to have to overcome something like that. I have learned from my time as a school resource officer that we can make a difference. I have learned from my limited time as a detective that we have to. We have a chance to stop kids from getting physically and emotionally abused. We have the opportunity to help kids get on the right track. I have seen how the bullying prevention programs at Highview Middle School have worked. I have seen that the funds contributed today allow schools to do important things, whether it is buying a curriculum, getting teachers trained, or paying for restorative justice programs that give kids a chance to make things right. They are invaluable, and it wouldn't happen without you. It is very important that we all take a stand in some way. We cannot start to make things better unless we take a stand. Everyone here has probably heard one of my favorite quotes by Sir Edmund Burke about all it takes for evil to win. But I found another quote by Albert Einstein, which has the same idea. He says, "The world is a dangerous place to live. Not because of the people who are evil, but because of the people who don't do anything about it." That is how we stop bullying, by each of us doing something about it and taking a stand. Staying not here, not now, not in St. Paul, not in Inver Grove Heights, not in South St. Paul, not in Minnesota, and not around me. I guarantee you, if you do, others will join you and things will change. You'll feel good about it, and nothing feels better than standing up for what is right. You can make a stand today by supporting PeaceMaker Minnesota. Let me wrap up today by telling you about two kids. I met them during my time at Highview Middle School. I remember Nate, a wonderful kid. He was a 6th grader or 7th grader at the time, but he talked with me like he was an adult. One day he walked into my office and sat down and said, "I wanted you to know that some kids are giving my friend a hard time. You don't have to do anything about it right now. I just wanted to let you know that I'm keeping an eye on him." And you know what that is an example of to me? It was of someone saying, not here and not around me. Let me tell you about his friend Peter. Peter is also a wonderful kid. He told me about students that were doing inappropriate things in the lunchroom, and I thought to myself, here's Peter reporting something to me that could get back to him and make his life harder. And I thought to myself, why would Peter do that? And it's because Peter had a real strong sense of what is right and what is wrong. These guys are willing to stand up, and I think we should be too.